which was Marvin Vettori, Roman Dolidze. This is their rematch. Both of these guys can grapple, but you've said it plenty of times, Will, that matchups, the styles make matchups, and both of these guys just decided to kind of just stand instead. And look, dude, it was a back and forth, some eye pokes, some groin kicks, some solid Herb Deans, in between the rounds, giving warnings. No, look, okay, so the first round, the first thing I noticed, Dolidze expends a lot of energy with a lot of his shots, right? But the good thing is, the fight continued going on, you notice he doesn't go berserk. So in a way, yes, he's expending a lot of power whenever he's throwing, a lot of energy, but he's also not throwing as much as he would in some of his previous fights. Vettori tells Herb Dean in between rounds, like, hey, dude, like, he's going to poke the shit out of my eye. Like, he's coming straight at me. And Herb Dean's like, oh, he is? He's like, yeah. He's like, so he goes over to Roman Dolidze. He's like, hey, you're coming at him with your hands open. Head needs to be like this, right? Shows him palm up, not like this.
Yeah.
Same
thing, but different.
Because if you do it, I'm going to have to warn you again.
No. That's not what happened. He talks to him in between rounds. Whoa, here we go. He talks to him in between rounds, and the round is delayed. The next round starting is delayed because Herb Dean is giving him what I would consider a hard warning. A hard warning when he says, "Hey, I don't want to. Don't bring me into this. You're doing this, right? The thing that you did, right? Don't fucking do this." To the point where we're now delaying the fight because the warning is so necessary, apparently. And then within 30 to 40 seconds after that, he fucking pokes him in the eye. And Herb's like, well, shit. They all just watched me give you a heart.
This is what I was talking about. You heard him.
Yeah.
Roman, this is what I was talking about.
This is what I warned you about. So now you know what the repercussions are?
Another warning.
Don't do it again. What are we doing, dude? If you're delaying the start of the next round, warning a guy about an issue, and then he fucking does that foul 35 seconds later, what are we doing, dude? Take a point. Take a point. They already got their warning in the back. They got their warning in the cage. Yeah, shout out everybody. I mean, fucking, it's Sammy. Just. And look, I like Herb. I think Herb's cool. You know, clearly I need a third fight. Ghost says to build on Will's point about having a ton of finishes doesn't mean something good or interesting happened. You can get a card with a ton of finishes, but those finishes was against a ton of jabronis. Yeah, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, right? But yeah, that's kind of the point I'm making. But the
again, to my point though, you look at that card, you look at the fact that, like, as you're reading the card, there's no star power in there. Even the people that you do recognize, you're like, okay, they're not top tier.
There's only one.
If you decide to watch, you're deciding to watch just for pure entertainment at that point, right? Like, you're not going in there to see the best of the best fight. But
expectations are low.
Sammy says, sure, Herbilius Dean Maximus taking a point for that. I think he should have.
It's not. It shouldn't even be a question at this point. Look, we just had the Herb Dean, or not the Herb Dean. Sorry, the was it Mark Smith with Henry Cejudo? We just had that fight. It ruined a main event of a great fight. I really enjoyed that fight as it was going. We just had the Manel Cop eye raking of Almabayev, and now we're back again. At this point, it's like this is part of the sport. It's an actual legitimate tactic that you can use in the sport. Why punch someone in the face when I can eye poke them first?
Rio says might as well foul multiple times because there are no repercussions. 100%, and that's why they do it. And even Bisping, who is through and through a company guy. Right, like there's no more company guy. Well, maybe I don't know,
DC's
but DC's up there. But Bisping even said, like, hey, at this point, just take a point away for eye pokes, and you will see eye pokes dramatically reduce. If on the first eye poke you just take a point, and he's absolutely right.
Well, at this point, it shouldn't be whether it's accidental or not. Like, it needs to be a point taken if carelessness leads to an eye poke. A point needs to go. If it's in a grappling exchange or something, and you're pulling out of the tie clinch and you're pushing off or something, maybe you don't take a point there. But on these types of instances where someone's coming in and you frame off and you poke them in the eye, no, don't frame like that anymore. Frame with the fist. Use your head movement. Do something else. Frame off their chest. Because at this point, people can be lackadaisical with it because it's legitimately helping them win fights. Literally, we've had 3. Is it in a row? It's not in a row.
No.
No. We had one event in between, I think. It's fucking crazy. And I'm tired of
Yeah.
talking about eye pokes. I want to talk about fights. But we have to keep talking about it because it keeps happening in like main events, you know?
Over and over and over.
It's
Yeah, so
crazy.
anyways, third round, Vettori cracks
But back to the
Dolidze
actual fight.
with a big left. Dolidze gets wobbled, right? You could see
Yeah.
he's desperation mode, shoots for a leg, trying to grab on for dear life. Do you think Vettori pressured enough after that?
Yes, and here's what the commentary didn't say. Um, I think he cracks him with the left, which was working for most of the fight. He hurts him. He rushes in. He starts trying to tag him. Dolidze cracked him good. There was two exchanges. He hurt him once. He follows him up against the fence. He hurts him again up against the fence. He escapes, and then they clash again. Dolidze cracks him, and he takes a step back. And from that point on, he was like, maybe I'm not going to chase. And I think that was poker face Vettori saying, I don't want to get too gassed trying to finish this fight. I thought he got cracked and was like, hold on. I need to chill myself here.
Yeah.
So I don't blame him for not getting the finish there. Also, I don't think he's ever gotten a finish. Has he ever TKO'd anybody or KO'd anybody?
Uh,
Oh shit! Where's my dark
Not that
moon?
I can think of off the top of my head.
Yeah, I don't think he ever has. Not in the
Let's see
UFC at
here.
least. Jack Mason back in 2015.
Decision. Carl
Yeah.
Robinson in 2020, rear naked choke.
Okay. Yeah, but he's never with strikes. I mean,
No.
yeah.
He's a
Blunt
decision machine, huh?
Blunderbutt makes a good point. He said guidance must be pretty muddy regarding eye pokes and rules and stuff like that. Herbert one
Yep.
gives yellow cards and takes points away decisively, usually following one strong warning. Yeah, he's way quicker to punish for fouls in one. And he even alluded to that in the Marab versus Sean O'Malley fight when they were like, "Why'd you stand him up?" And he's like, "Well, there's certain things that like they want the sport to look a certain way," and he kind of alluded to the fact that they get heavily suggested on how they should be officiating
Yes.
fights, and
Yes. Because
clearly the
Herb
UFC is
Dean,
not
I think
there.
I said in the last episode, Herb Dean in one, phenomenal.
He's much better.
And look, Herb Dean's already a very, very good ref, but put him in one, dude, and he is solid. Him and Olivier Cost together, money.
Dream team right there.
For real. James Kendrick saying, was this fight bad? It seemed like the same exchange over and over again, like most WMMA fight, women's MMA fights. Look, I'll say this, because if you've listened in the past, I'm a Dolidze fan, and the reason I'm a Dolidze fan is because this is like a wild man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And in the fourth round, he starts putting more pressure on, and he's throwing like the most unconventional shots. Like he throws this right, and he misses, and as Vittori's coming in for the counter, he's like, "Bop," and he
Bro,
just
that's his go-to.
like backhands him, and then like even Vittori like gets hit and he like backs off and just laughs, dude. He's like,
Yeah.
"Did I really
He's like,
just
what
get
the
hit with
fuck,
that,
dude?
bro? What are we doing?" But that's why I love watching Roman Dolidze because it's
Yeah.
just entertaining. It's hilarious.
Yeah. We've
I,
talked
I
about it
wouldn't
before.
say I wouldn't say it was a
There's
bad fight. It was
look,
just like I won't go
it,
back and rewatch it.
no. It could have been a lot worse. I thought it was going to be a lot worse. I thought it was smart. Vettori just had shoulder surgery, and apparently, word on the street is that he still has issues with that shoulder.
Mm.
I almost put some money on the boy, Dolidze, because he was an underdog, and I was like, Vettori can't lift his arm. Okay, well, but then I didn't because I never do.
Hey, who are you, Will Kraus over here,
Huh?
dude? Okay.
What?
Fucking use it insider info from Betty.
But I thought
Hanging out with D. James
I
Krause, huh?
think I think Delidze's camp probably also heard that because the high kick, he just kept blasting that high kick. And if you
Yes.
know somebody can't raise their arm, blasting that high kick is probably great. Oh yeah, he
Solid.
forgot his cup. I forgot
So
Vittori.
good.
Dude,
Shout out
Vittori
Danscow for
is
that one.
yeah, Vittori is something else, man. The shorts on
He's a
backwards,
goofball.
the fucking missing the cup, walking out there and they're like, oh shoot. As they're doing the final check-in, they realize he doesn't have the cup. He gets kicked in the nuts in the fight. Thank God
So
they
very good thing that he
remembered.
had a cup.
Yeah.
Yeah. That
I
would have
mean,
been a
just
disaster.
yeah, this fight was just the embodiment of a middleweight main event at the Apex. It was fine. It was
Yeah.
fine,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
Okay.
it was fine.
Well, nothing else for me for this fight. Shout out to Dolidze. He's probably going to be jumping Vettori moving into that eighth spot. He's calling out a top 5 fighter now, saying, give me Adesanya or give me Whitaker.
Yeah, Whitaker fight maybe. I think Whitaker is rumored to be fighting Bahalio. As Dolidze, dude, every time I see Dolidze, we've always talked about
actually Paul Craig.
Dolidze fights. We've said this before. Dolidze fights like Paul Craig stare downs. Because Paul Craig in stare downs he's mean mugging. He's in your face. He's got the Braveheart paint. He looks so threatening, and then he's like, jump into my guard. He's like pulling guard in the fight. Dolidze fights like that. Not a ton of fight IQ, but just like forward pressures,
dude,
trying to throw bombs. That's what you would expect from the stare downs of Paul Craig. And man, they look so similar. So similar.
Yeah. Sammy asking, how does Big Doll versus Rob Whittaker go? I don't know, man. I still think that Whittaker's at another level at this point.
Yeah. I think there's a lot of things he could take advantage of. Whittaker. I don't see Dolidze getting through Whittaker.
But give him to him.
I think Whittaker's potentially got Bahalio.
So if we go middleweight right now, scrolling. Here it is. We have Jared Cannonier, Bahalio, Whittaker, Adesanya, Hamzat, Sean Strickland, Nasruddin, Imavov versus Dricus du Plessis. So the only one that you could really do would be Adesanya if Whittaker and Bahalio are booked.
What the fuck happened at middleweight, bro? What? Oh my god, dude, that just broke my brain. How stupid all this.
Here's a question for you, Will, from the Jack Slack. Is middleweight a logjam right now?
A little bit, because they fucked it up by doing Strickland versus du Plessis 2. We didn't need that. We could have gotten Hamzat versus du Plessis, and we could have been moving things along instead at the top. We're like, let's do an unnecessary rematch, which in hindsight was extremely unnecessary after the fight happened. We just didn't need that. And instead, we just kind of shut everything down at the top, which is pretty fucking annoying.
Give me Sean Strickland versus Dolidze.
God, dude. And that's like that's like a top 5 ranked fight. Jesus Christ. Dude.
We spent way more time on the main event than I thought we would spend on any fight on this card. Let's go and move on.
It broke my spirit, dude.
Hey everybody, Romero and Will here. Thank you for watching that short clip. Just so you know, that was a small excerpt from what we covered this last Sunday, right, Will?
Yeah, we cover the entire event every weekend. So this was just a cutout from the live stream that we did. The link to that live stream is in the description. So if you want to hear about the other fights that night, it's down below in the description. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, because we go live every Sunday to cover events. And if you do that, you'll know for next week, and you can tune in and be in the chat and get featured on the show just like everybody else was on this clip.
We hope to chat with you live.